Have we lost our minds? I sat here and listened to every label imaginable. I am here to protect women, girls. My God, why do I have to apologize for that? We spent decades trying to protect women. And you know what? We won. We won. So I will not apologize now or ever for trying to protect my daughters and women in sports. And that's what this hearing was about. Protecting women. So you know what? I am a woman, and let me tell you, hear me roar, because I will not stop protecting women. We have rights too. Women have rights too. And our daughters have rights too. Let me be explicitly clear on that. And I will never stop protecting our daughters. I will never stop protecting women. That is my job as a mother, and it is the right thing to do. This hearing today has been extremely informative and heartbreaking. Frankly, I am mystified by the Biden administration's shameless failures to protect women's rights. We talk about protecting women's rights like that's such a bad thing, that's so evil to protect women's rights. Have we lost our mind? The administration's proposed Title IX rule will rewind decades of progress in women's rights. The Biden administration is weakening Title IX by allowing all males who identify as women to participate in women's sports. Okay, identify as women. How about just be a woman? Why can't I protect my women? Why can't I protect my daughters? Title IX was implemented by Congress to give women equal educational opportunities, including within federally funded school athletic programs. No, we're not there. Do we have a lot of work to do? You're doggone right we do. But if this language gets in by the Biden administration, it will definitely not help women, I can assure you that. It will not help us on the progress route. The Biden administration's rule would eliminate women's sports as we know it. That's a fact. And you know how it starts? It starts little by little by little by little. All you got to do is look at it. It's called the salami mentality. Little by little by little. It starts by just a little, and then before you know it, look at our tax system, right? As we have discussed today, the Biden administration has no legal grounds to support this rule. Congress is the nation's lawmaking body, not unelected bureaucrats in the Biden administration. In a world where biological males compete in women's sports, women lose access to roster spots. It's true. It's not about your feelings. It is the fact. Women lose championships, records, and scholarships. That's just a fact. I'm sorry if it doesn't fit your narrative, but it's the fact. Women face serious injuries from contact sports with physically biological or larger biological males. Again, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. Women face emotional trauma of exposure to biological males in spaces that should be safe and private for women, like the locker room. And why should women have to change all the time? Would have been nice if we got a little heads up, Riley, about, hey, we got a biological male competing. Would have been nice to have a heads up. Then maybe we could have put the curtain up. But we don't even bother to tell anybody. What about defending our women? What about defending my daughters? Don't I have a right? You know what? I say yes, I do. The proposed Department of Education rules will do nothing to preserve the safety or fairness of women's sports. This is about protecting girls and women. This is about protecting our daughters, our sisters, our nieces, and our granddaughters. And you know what? Lisa McClain is here to fight for them. That's why I've drafted a bill, Save Women's Sports Act, to protect sports and fair competition across the nation. Remember Title IX that we fought so hard for? My bill prohibits any school or university that receives federal funding from allowing biological males from participating in women's sports. So you can do it. We're just not funding it. If schools violate the provision of this bill, they lose access to all federal funding. You can be who you want to be, but the American people don't have to fund it, especially since about 70% of them actually agree with me. Simply put, this bill will stop the pattern of unremarkable male athletes that switch to women's sports and suddenly come in first place. Men like those we have heard stories about, men like the ones we've heard stories about today. I ask my colleagues to join me in protecting women's sports by signing this bill. In closing, again, I want to thank our panelists once again for your brave and important testimony today. I'm sure you're going to get canceled. I'm sure I'm going to get canceled. But you know what that tells me? My ladder's on the right wall and I'm doing the right thing.